Roof access. Wait a second. I remember years ago, Rusty once bragged that this needs a key. I see they put Rusty's zip line back in place. How convenient. Hey, I need a zip line trolley to place on that rope. There's a mean pooch behind this gate. Be careful when opening this. Hey, I need a zipline trolley. Zipline trolley's repaired. Closed. Yeah, this building's been a lemon for anyone who's tried to open a business here. Well, that's Rusty's water tower. It's no secret that many people have used it to store illicit items. This must be the freeze gun.
No way! A freeze gun? This is definitely your coolest case ever.
No pun intended?
With freeze guns, the puns are always intended. Are you familiar with the work of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Please, have mercy.
I'm afraid my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy.
I'm gonna find a way to turn you off, I swear.
You're not sending me to the cooler. Cool party? Fine, I'm done.
Thank God.
Allow me to break the ice. My name is Freeze. Learn it well, for it is the chilling sound of your doom.
Let's just get this thing back to Mojo. A freeze gun? Could it get any more geeky? Thank you, Deus Ex Machina. Archie helped me out on my Pandora Directive case, where we met a charming fellow. Man, I thought this would have ended up in the Andes Mountains.
You got it, didn't you? The Nitro Stalker freeze gun. So cool. My internet group is gonna be so jealous.
Fine. But you breathe one word of this, and I'm gonna turn you into a junior fireman popsicle.
Oh, fine, okay, I won't say anything. Threatened by Tex Murphy. This is so awesome.
It doesn't work.
We may only get one chance, Carlos, so I wanted to go over the plan one more time. If Margaret shows up at the Ritz, call me immediately. If I'm delayed, detain her. We have to assume she won't give up the egg voluntarily, but I want to talk to her first. You know why I've given you the cryo chamber, but that has to be the very last resort. And if anything happens to me, I'll need you to contact a friend of mine. Keep it safe until I retrieve it.
Well, it sounds like Mason and Margaret had a major disagreement. I need to locate both of them and get to the bottom of this. I decide to head back to my office to sort things out.
Hey, cowboy. Any memories coming back yet?
Not so far, but something tells me I might be missing out on some really good ones.
That's solid detective work.
So... were we dating?
Dating? Oh, that's so cute. I guess you can call it that. But we were also working together in a more professional capacity.
Well, now my detective skills are picking up a little sarcasm.
Seriously, cowboy, you're good. I've learned a lot working with you the past couple weeks.
Let me get this straight. You and I were working on a case together? Do you mind telling me about that?
Not at all. You wanted a list of tenants here at the Ritz as far back as I could go.
Why would I do that?
It was your dreams. They were vivid before, but they were getting out of control. It's almost like they were changing you into someone else. You talked about seeing things from the past, but you wouldn't give me details. You were incredibly stressed. It was like you actually believed this apartment was haunted. You even started looking into psychometry.
Psycho what?
Psychometry. It's the belief that an object can contain a person's energy or memories.
So, not only am I an amnesiac, but I'm a paranormal idiot. Great.
Sounds crazy, I know. But then we found out about Donnelly.
Who?
J.T. Donnelly. It was the most bizarre thing. I'd heard you mention the name in your sleep. But then, his name turned up when I checked out the previous tenants.
So who is this guy?
He's a private investigator, a real old school brute. He worked for some powerful, influential people, but then he disappeared around 1943. His last known address was here.
San Francisco.
No, here, at the Ritz in this exact apartment.
Okay, that's a little bizarre.
It gets bizarrier. You called me one night, raving like a lunatic, saying the walls were talking. I rushed over and found holes smashed in the wall, and you curled up on the floor in a ball.
Well, I'm glad to hear I haven't changed that much.
You wouldn't tell me what had happened, but after that, you wouldn't sleep here. That's when you got your new place and started to sleep there.
Hold on. I have another place?
Yes, you do. And it's even nicer than here.
This is all crazy. I think I'm gonna sleep here tonight just to see whether it affects me in the same way.
Do you want some company?
Listen, Taylor, I'm beginning to see what the other me saw in you. But in my head, it's still 2043. I've got to tell you, there was somebody else.
Chelsea, I know. I know how much she meant to you, Tex. Losing her was traumatic as hell for you. But she's gone. And there's nothing you can say or do or don't do that's gonna bring her back. Do you feel that?
I sure do.
I'm alive. And that's my heart. It's yours if you want it. And it comes with all the other bits.
I'm sorry, Taylor, but I love Chelsea, and I never even got the chance to tell her. And if there's any chance that I can find her, I've got to do it. I hope you'd understand.
I don't understand, Tex. Why can't you let this go? It's crazy. That room you have across the hall with all our stuff is like some sick Chelsea shrine. I'm sorry I shouldn't have said that. I'm gonna go.
6 hours later, the rain was finally letting up. Last night felt like a blindside punch to the face. I didn't think having Taylor walking out of my office could be so painful. There's just something reassuring and comfortable about her, but I've got way too many questions, yearnings, and guilt not to find out what happened to Chelsea. Even if it kills me, I've got to know. There's something darker than the night I'm dealing with, and it hinges on what happened that evening 7 years ago with her. As Taylor leaves, she hands me the key to a room at the Ritz she calls the Chelsea Shrine Room. No messages on the vid phone. Looks like Archie's back in town. I should check out his 3 Cards to Midnight shop and see if he knows anything. Looks like Archie's back in town. The door to my back storage room. According to Taylor, this opens a room here at the Ritz that has some of Chelsea's belongings. That's not right. Well, that was stupid. Needs a key. Oh, that's got to be a fire hazard. I remember this thing was $14.99. Man, I spent an entire 3 months' salary on a ring for Chelsea. Of all the skills Chelsea had, one in particular comes to mind. She'll always be my queen of the rodeo. It's a picture of me and my would-be girlfriend Chelsea Bando. I've got a gut feeling she's out there. Chelsea always looked great in hats. It's funny how fashion cycles circle around. These are all Chelsea's belongings. When the police closed her case, I must have picked up these items from her apartment. It's a picture of Chelsea. A reminder of the best and worst night of my life. Chelsea loved to go to Arizona. I'd like to think I was the only thing keeping her here on Chandler Avenue. Yeah, I remember how much Chelsea wanted to go to the Fuchsia Flamingo that night. It's Chelsea's business card for her newsstand. I didn't have the heart to tell her that print is dead. I'm here to ask you out for dinner, and I'm not taking no for an answer.
What, like a date?
No, it'd be more like 2 friends having a great meal and maybe some stimulating conversation.
I guess that'd be okay. I mean, yeah, that'd be all right.
So what are you in the mood for? You know, I heard Weenie World put tater tots on the menu.
I've got a better idea. Why don't you let me make you dinner at my place? It's cheaper than going out. And besides, I have something I'd like to talk to you about. Let's say 8 o'clock?
Well, you talked me into it, Miss Bando.
Well, I feel so spoiled.
By the way, what should I bring, red or white?
You better bring both.
Oh, that's got to be a fire hazard. People who stay here at the Ritz don't want to be found. Better step inside. Archie Ellis is my herbal tea-loving, source for all things alien, supernatural, conspiracy theorist. Or he's just plain crazy. He ran into some trouble with the NSA on my last case. Last I knew, he was hiding out in some tropical locale with a bevy of beauties. I'm surprised he's back in town.
Hey, Murphy, how you doing? You okay? I heard you were having some kind of amnesia. You know, most alien abductees always have some sort of memory loss.
Are you still into that alien thing, Archie? I mean, isn't that just a little passé?
The truth never goes out of style, my friend. Now, I heard something about an injection and a head wound. Yowza!
You really back off, man, because I swear I will shoot the next person who tries to touch this, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry. Ouch. Ooh. So, I guess you do need some catching up then. A few months ago, I moved back here from the islands and I opened up this place. And I was hoping that you and I could hang out together like old times, but you haven't been around much.
So I haven't come by with the traditional welcome back fruit basket? I have turned into a bastard.
Sounded like the same Murph to me, making jokes and putting your cigarette out in my herbal tea before I'm done with it.
So, have you heard anything about what I was working on before the aliens got me?
Not yet, but you know I'm always ready to be Robin to your Batman. Without the homoerotic undertones, of course.
Sorry, Arch, but it's a package deal. If you're gonna be in this with me, you're gonna have to be in all the way.
You had me going there, Murph.
Okay, Boy Wonder, I need you to enter 2 names into the Bat computer. Mason Bowers, Margaret Leonard.
Well, I don't know about Mason Bowers, but Margaret Leonard, she's connected to one of the greatest mysteries of all time. I mean, you know who Nikola Tesla was, right?
Nikola! The cough drop?
Nikola Tesla was a genius. Probably one of the greatest geniuses ever. I mean, it was Tesla, not Marconi, who was the true inventor of the radio. He invented a Tesla coil, the AC electricity, remote control. He even pioneered cryogenics.
So are we almost to the part about Margaret Leonard?
Right. Well, Tesla died in 1943 when the FBI just swooped in and confiscated all his papers and designs. Then in about 2012, all this stuff, the Tesla cash just disappeared. And you want to know who the #1 suspect was?
Margaret Leonard.
No, an FBI agent named Charles Johansson. Now, I know they could never prove that he did it, but then he quits the FBI and joins some Tesla fanatic group called the Tesla Legacy Society, a group dedicated to making the world better through technology. And that's where he meets
Margaret Leonard?
Bingo! They fall in love, they get married. I think they even had a kid together.
So where's Margaret now?
Not a clue. Johansson died a couple years later, cancer, I think. After that, Margaret just dropped out of circulation.
So all this happened, what, 37 years ago. I mean, no one's found the Tesla cash since then?
It's one of the great mysteries, the lost inventions of Nikola Tesla.
What's the big deal with the Tesla inventions? I mean, there must be some reason they were never made.
Oh, you ever hear of a little thing called Tunguska?
Have I ever? Picked up a bad case when I was down in Mexico. It's where I learned the phrase, Baños, rapidos, ándale muchachos, vámonos!
Oh, Murph, you're too funny. You know, in 1890s, Tesla conducted an experiment and created a resonance frequency. You know, like a big vibration, and it nearly took out a whole chunk of New York City. And then in the 1900s, he began to work on what he called a teleforce beam. The press called it, a death ray, cooler name. But a few years later in Russia, remote area called Tunguska, something caused an explosion 1,000 times greater than the atomic bomb.
1,000 times greater than the atomic bomb 40 years before we invented it?
But that was the last anyone ever heard of the death ray. Tesla never got funding. Instead, they made him out to be some crackpot, and he was broke for the rest of his life. Some people think the plans for it were part of the Tesla cash. Just think how much someone would pay to get their hands on that. And I'll never forget what you did tipping me off before that whack job NSA guy could get me. Seems nice. You know me, Murph. Always up for an adventure. As long as I don't have to go anywhere. You like my shop? Kind of like my old one, the Cosmic Connection. But I had to change the name in case, the NSA and all that. I eat at the Brew and Stew all the time. I actually wouldn't mind forgetting a few years of my own life, mostly my teenage years. Yeah, oh, that's the Hollow Babe at the Golden Gate. Yeah, Mojo is warm for her form, or lack thereof, as it were. He's not very friendly, is he? My little buddy Mojo works over there. We hang out a lot, but I can't stay there too long. Something makes my eyeballs burn. Gosh, you'd think a sidekick would be a little more helpful, huh? Don't know about that. Donnelly's kind of a mysterious character. He was a private detective Tesla may have hired not long before he died. There's a mention of it in one of Tesla's letters. Both aliens and ghosts can communicate through their dreams. It's a proven fact. I've been checking my sources, but no one's heard a thing about her in years. He died like 40 years ago and either left the Tesla cash with Margaret Leonard or somebody else, or he took it to the grave. The Tesla cash is right up there for me. Oh, and the death ray? Well, the name says it all, doesn't it?
As I leave, Archie hands me an old photograph of Margaret Leonard. Maybe someone else on Chandler will recognize her from the picture. I wonder if anyone else on Chandler Avenue has seen Margaret Leonard.
Hey, Tex. How's your case progressing? Sorry, I don't know a lot of people, except the ones that come in here.
Murph, I think we make a great team. What can I do for you? That's the most recent photo of Margaret Leonard I could find. Like I said, she's been out of circulation for a while.
If you were looking for me earlier, I wasn't here.
Well, at least you're here more than Nilo used to be.
And I spend a lot less time in the can.
You recognize the woman in this photo?
Oh, nice. I think I saw her in a playbook from 1996. Is this your girlfriend?
Not yet, but I'd like to take her out for dinner and drinks, and well, then we'd go from there.
I'm just kidding about this woman being your girlfriend. She's actually mine. No, I'm kidding again. This is Margaret Leonard. She's had a room here at the Ritz forever. She used to live here, but I haven't seen her in years. So, she may not be here anymore, but she auto-pays her rent. So it's all good.
Any chance you can get me into her apartment?
Not a chance in hell. I let her install her own security system, just like you, except hers is a real one. I can't tell you which apartment it is, but You won't get in without a passcode or a personal invitation. Maybe I could try to help you with something else. Can't help you with that. All I know about her is she's got a room here. I hardly ever see her, so I don't know when she's here and when she isn't. I'll bet she was something back in the day. Way back in the day.
I've been thinking, Murphy, perhaps I should confide something to you.
Oh, this should be good.
That is, you believe Maldonado is spying on you, but it could have been someone else.
Not Margaret Leonard by any chance.
How did you know?
Do the words P.I. mean anything to you?
Margaret may be in grave danger. I've tried to contact her, but to no avail.
Gosh, if only we knew someone with some detective skills. Do you know how to get into her apartment?
No, but she may have left a clue. Some time ago, she left this in my care. It's for you.
For me?
She wanted you to have it in case anything happened. I met Margaret years ago. She was a woman of secrets. I have an interest in Tesla collectibles, so yes, I've heard of it. And no, I don't know where you could find it. I met Margaret years ago. She was a woman of secrets.
More questions? Why you gotta keep coming back with more questions? I remember her. Sweet little old lady. Used to see her around the neighborhood years ago. Don't remember the last time I saw her.
I think everybody's pretty happy that you're back to your old self. Except Rook. That ornery old cuss. No pleasing him, I guess. How are things going for you? I know you was having bad dreams way back when. But I didn't hear nothing else about him after, you know, the thing with Chelsea happened. Oh, I know this little lady. Haven't seen her around in quite a while, but she used to come in pretty regular. I think she lived at the Ritz, at least for a time. She and Chelsea were real friendly. Pretty sure her name wasn't Margaret Leonard, though. At least that ain't the name she told me.
Still can't believe I'm working with the one and only Tex Murphy. What can I do for you, sir? That's the witch. At least that's what I call her. A couple times I've seen this old lady sneaking around the neighborhood.